everyone, this is a collection, no, just pickups video for March. I managed to pick up 15 boxed games, really cheap. I shop in, this was Guru Soko. I usually pick up games in hard off, but Guru had a great offer. You could buy 5 games for 300 yen. Wrapper here. 1 game 100 yen, 5 games 300 yen, which is ridiculously cheap. So I picked up 15 games, so that's 900 yen, and I know 900 yen is 7 euros roughly. Well, it's not 900 yen, it's 900 yen plus tax, so 8% tax is 972 yen, which is $8 or about €7.50, or if you're talking British pounds, it's £5.35, which is ridiculously cheap for 15 boxed games. Now, I've already opened them and gone through them. Now, 3 of them don't have instruction manuals, but you can live with that, I guess. You're getting them so cheap. So it's all Famicom, Super Famicom and Game Boy. So I took as many of the box games as I could find, and I guess we'll start. There's only 2 Famicom games, and the first one doesn't have a manual, and that is Detective Conan. Very popular character here. Detective Conan Giwaku no Gokaresha, which is, I think, the suspicious gorgeous train. Yes, this one doesn't come with instructions, and it doesn't even have a picture of the game on the back. And since my Japanese is very poor, I probably won't be able to play much of it, but I'll give it a try on the old Super Game Boy. So yes, that's Detective Conan, the suspicious gorgeous train. Let's focus there. I don't know much about Detective Conan. I've never read it, never seen the anime. So, but that's pickup number 1. Now the second Game Boy pickup is this horse racing game. Horse racing games are far more popular here than they are in the West. There's loads of them, and this is a nice big box on the Game Boy because it comes with a nice thick instruction manual. Now this is back in V3. Now the box color is a bit faded actually. I think this should be red. You can see on the back, doesn't quite inspire confidence in those screenshots. It could be interesting. And yes, a nice big Game Boy box, which makes a change. So that one's pretty cool. So there are 2 Game Boy games. Well, there's also 6 Super Famicom games. Again, the first one didn't come with an instruction manual, but doesn't matter, I wouldn't be able to read it anyway. So first game is this. Now what is this? This is Ginga Ayu Densetsu, which was a popular anime. This guy looked like a disembodied head on the box. Legend of Galactic Heroes, released in 1992, Super Famicom. It's just a space strategy game. See some of the pictures on the back of the box there. Again, probably far too much kanji for me to play the game, but I'll try it out anyway. Yeah, again, no instructions, just a loose cart inside the box, unfortunately. But again, when it's this cheap, you can't complain. So that's the first Super Famicom game. Second one, we're talking horse racing again. Yep, some more horse racing. This is Kaiba 8 Special. And I think this is support of an focus. I think support of an arcade. Horse racing games on the arcades here, very popular. Sega do a big, massive, like 16 sit-down horse gambling one in the local arcade, which is way too complicated for me to play. But this one, I have a few Super Famicom horse racing games, and I can't play any of them, so this is probably just add to the collection. So yeah, that's Kaiba 8 Special. Next game I can play. This is a fighting game. Astral Bout. Astral Bout. This is by, well, it's not, that's the Fighting Network Rings is like an early Japanese UFC kind of organization. So it's mixed martial arts, not different fighting, so it's not quite a one-on-one fighter, but not quite a wrestling game. I have to play it. Looks suspiciously like Mike Tyson. Lots of different characters, different fighting styles. There's a sequel to this game too, but let's see how the original holds up. I'm sure this guy is famous for some reason, but I have no idea who he is. So yeah, that's Astral Bout on the Super Famicom. Next up is here Super Mahjong Taikai, which basically means tournament, really. This is by Koei. They make all the historical strategy games, and this is all your historical strategy characters: Napoleon, Cleopatra, etc. But they're all playing Mahjong. I can usually fumble my way through a Mahjong game. Hopefully this one will be interesting. But yeah, I never knew this game was out. Koei do a lot of strategy games on the Famicom and Super Famicom, and all the other systems really, but there's a load on the Famicom. This one, nice box art, I think. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Show who they are. But yeah, Super Mahjong Tournament. Now, last two games. Next one up is another game that's popular here, but not very popular in the West. I don't think any of them really get translated and brought over. And it's a pachinko game. This is Nishijin Pachinko Monogatari 2. Monogatari is like the story, I think. So, I don't know, maybe they have to put a story to putting balls in a pachinko machine. But, yeah, different pachinko tables. I don't see the appeal myself in pachinko games. But pachinko powers here, very popular, always busy. And this game seems alright. I have a few other pachinko games, none of them are outstanding or anything, but we'll try this one. So that's Nishin Pachinko Monogatari 2. So, last Super Famicom game is quite an odd one. And it's Gogaku de Ata Kawaii Hanashi, which Gaku is school and Kawaii is like scary or horror. So it's basically Schoolhouse Horror Story by Ban Presto. Schoolhouse Horror Story. And what's interesting about this one is they use, there's not many pictures on the back, but they use like actors, digital stills for pictures. So it should be an interesting game. I don't know how it works on the Super Famicom. Again, there's far too much kanji. I won't be able to understand what's going on. But yeah, that's Gaku de Ata Kawaii Hanashi, Schoolhouse Horror Story. Strange box art, I think. Nope. Interesting game. Can't wait to fire it up and see what it looks like. So there were the 6 Super Famicom games, and we have 7 Famicom games. All box. Super Famicom games, easy enough to come by. Box Famicom games, a little bit more difficult. First game again, doesn't have any instruction manual, but that's okay. First up is this one. This cool 80s box art. This is Jujumaro no Daiboken. Jujumaro must be this guy. No Daiboken is like his big adventure, great adventure. It's a very colourful Famicom game. Again, disappointed, doesn't come with an instruction manual. Looks like a decent... I have this upside down, don't I? Sorry. So, looks like a decent platformer, the right way up. And that's from Jellico. And that's the first of our 7 Famicom games. Next up is another genre that's very popular here. You can't move for baseball cartridges and baseball games. And this is one of the most popular ones here. And it's Moero Pro Yaku. Yaku. I've heard people pronounce this like there's a shorthand for this. It's a very popular game. Jellico, why do you put things upside down in your boxes? Baseball. In the West, this is bases loaded. But in Japan, it's known as Moreo, which is like fire or burn. Burn Pro Baseball. Burn Pro Baseball. You always come across this box or this loose cartridge anytime you go into a game shop. There's loads of baseball games. It's a very popular one. But yeah, what's good about baseball games is that you can play it without knowing too much Japanese, really. Next up is one I was really delighted to find. It's Neketsu Hakibu Subete Koronde Diarento, which is, Kunio-kun. Loads of Kunio-kun games on the Famicom. My favourite by far was the one that came over as Nintendo World Cup. What a brilliant game. And so I was really delighted to find this game. Ice hockey game. There's all your characters. So can't wait to play this one. There's a story mode in it. There's a couple of different modes going by the manual. But hopefully I'll just be able to play straight up ice hockey. Yeah, this was supposed to come to the West as Crash and the Boys Ice Challenge, but never made it, unfortunately. What's that octopus doing? Okay, yes, but delighted to have found this one. Boxed with instructions, pretty cool. Next up is a classic game I'm sure lots of people have heard of and played. It's Final Fantasy 3. A nice thick instruction manual with this, and you've got to love the box art on the Final Fantasy games. They love their box art so much they put it on the back too. Don't bother putting up any screenshots. So yeah, it's from Square. 1990, Final Fantasy 3. Game I have on lots of different systems. It seems to get made and remade, and here on the Famicom probably won't be able to play it because my Japanese isn't good enough yet. But yeah, Final Fantasy 3. Next game, you should be able to play in any language. It's Bulletproof Software's Tetris. Now, I don't need to explain Tetris really, do I? Just blocks falling. You arrange them in lines and they disappear and your score goes up. So yeah, Tetris. Classic game. I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't like Tetris. Brilliant game. Spent hours playing this on the Game Boy. But nice to have the Famicom version. Next up is this game. Ooh, some guys made a sticky end. Now this is a Kyotaro Nishimura Mystery Blue Train Murder Case. That's the same again. Or in Japanese, Kotaro Nishimura Mystery Setsujin Jaiken? Okay. The blue train is the overnight train in Japan. If you're on a blue train, you're on a long journey, you get to sleep overnight. I've been on the blue train, not overnight. They're pretty cool. And the author, Kotaro Nishimura, is famous for his mystery novels, and most of them are set around trains and train stations and things. So this one's pretty interesting. Fortunately, probably too much Japanese for me to play. Nice art. I like the style. It should be very interesting when we do. But I'll fire it up and see what the opening screens look like. So yeah, that's Kotaro Nishimura Mystery, Blue Train Murder Case. Maybe the butler did it. And last game is from Namco. And it's Debias. Unlike the others, this is in a hard plastic case. So these games last a little longer than the cardboard boxes. This is Jikuyuden Debias, which is like space time hero. So maybe there's a bit of time travel in this game. I don't know. Looks a bit Castlevania-esque. It's supposed to have a kind of a day-night cycle similar to Castlevania. But another cool thing about this manual, or the game case I should say, is that it comes with this dial, which is needed in-game. Shows in the manual that a screen with a similar dial appears. So I don't know how that works, but pretty happy to have this dial. There's also some stickers, and the manual's all in colour. So yeah, pretty cool. That's Debias Namco. So there you have it. 15 games for only £5, €7. It's ridiculously cheap, all boxed. Guru Guru Soko. When you go in there, they have some great stuff. You see any amount of crazy things, and it's worth going back there. Every week or so they go through so much stock. So when I saw all these games boxed one week and they weren't there the week before, I said I have to pick them up. Yeah, so that's it for this month. These 15 games. I usually try and collect Sega games, but when you're getting Nintendo games this cheap boxed, you can't say no, really. One last thing, just want to give a shout out to 8-Bit Andy, and I'll put a link to his channel somewhere here when I figure out how to do that. Pretty cool channel, pick up videos, reviews, cool guy. Give him a check on the link wherever I put it. So until next time, I think Rappy is probably time to say goodbye. Right, Rappy, pay attention. One extra pickup for this month. And it was also in Guru Guru, but it was a Sega Mega Drive game. As I said, Mega Drive games are hard to come by. I don't know why, just in this area it's very rare to come across a boxed Mega Drive game. Nintendo, PlayStation, later generations, very easy, but Mega Drive, very tough. So when I came across this game, picked it up. Now it wasn't for as cheap. I usually pick up games when it's 100 yen. I'll pick it up no matter what platform it is, because that's pittance. But this was 1200 yen. It's about €8, £8. The reason why it's so cheap, because on eBay this would go for 6,000, 7,000 yen, which is about 50 quid. It's because it doesn't come with its instruction manual, unfortunately. As you can see here, it's Juju Densetsu, which is Juju Densetsu, as we mentioned earlier, is Legend. Or, as you might know it, Toki, going apespit. Yes, so pick this up. As I said, doesn't have instruction manual, unfortunately, just the cartridge. But pretty cool box art. 2-player game. Japanese box art is just so much better. So yeah, that's Juju Densetsu, Juju Legend on the Mega Drive. So picked up pretty cheap. Yeah, that's the final pickup for this month. I think so. It is Rappy, isn't it? Yeah. So until next week, next month, when I come across some more things, please like, share, that kind of craziness. Just add me where you find me.